In this video, we're going to show you the quick audio and video settings to include how to mute and unmute yourself and how to start and stop your video feed in a Webex meeting. All right, so we're going to review the quick audio and video settings and how to mute, unmute, and start and stop your video feed in Cisco Webex meetings. So first things first is Webex launches their Webex meetings with a pre-meeting entry screen. It's what we're looking at here. In this, at the bottom corner, is your quick audio settings that you want to pay attention to initially. So before you enter the meeting, you're going to see this screen. The bottom right will be your actual hardware configuration. It'll show you what you have selected for a speaker, what you will hear the meeting sound out of, what you have for a microphone, what the meeting will hear your sound or voice from, and then any cameras you may have, the one that's currently going to be used for the meeting. And that's about it. Set those, click off, you're ready to go on to the next step. And this is probably, in my opinion, I feel it is the most important setting you can make. And that is your source of audio connection. The type of connection you'll use to connect your audio into the meeting. So if we click this drop down, depending on the subscription you have, license, free, and what level, it will change. But the most you can have are these simple 4 options. And that's use computer for audio. That's the internal preset microphone and speakers built into your computer. Call me, select a number, and when entering the meeting, Webex will call you back at that set number. Call in. When you join the meeting, it will give you a number to dial as well as an attendee ID to identify yourself in the meeting, and then don't connect to audio. Those are the 4 options, not that many, and it's pretty much a preference point with the exception of don't connect to audio. And why you'd select that is if you're in a room where there's perhaps a Cisco Webex device or another participant that has their audio connected, like a conference phone. You can join your video so you can see the content up close. However, the audio, you don't want more than one source in a small space. You will get a horrible echo. Nobody wants that. So in the case where there's more than one device, only one will do audio. Everyone else will choose do not connect audio. But from that point, you choose what you prefer. I always do use computer for audio since I have a microphone and headsets. A lot of people do the call me. Just one thing with that is the number you set here, double check it before you join. A lot of people work at the office and work from home, or they use their cell phone for one meeting, and then when they're at their home office and they're expecting a call at their house phone, it's dialing the last used number, which could have been the office or cell phone. So just give that a quick glance prior to joining. Once you've selected what you want, you then come down to the next 2, and these are the mute and video. Pretty much when you join this meeting, do you want to be muted or not? And do you want your video on or not? So if it's enabled or on, it is highlighted in color. If it is not, then it's in gray. So in this instance, the mute button is gray. That says I'm not muted. However, if I clicked it, it would turn red, signifying that I'm muted, and it would tell me you're muted. So then at this point, if I was to join the meeting, I would join muted, silent. Not always the best in case people want to greet you when you enter, but in some cases it may be more of a lecture or presentation style, a tutorial, in which you don't necessarily want to be heard. It's just there to observe. Same thing with the video. Sometimes people aren't comfortable. Maybe you're entering a meeting where a majority of the people don't have their video on. You know that ahead of time. Or maybe you're just not comfortable yet. It's a work-related meeting and you don't want to be seen. Bad hair day, whatever have you, you can toggle whether or not your video is on when you join. And again here, when we click it, it will turn a red color, signifying that my video feed is not on or the video feed is indeed off. And when I hover over it, it will tell me what clicking on it will do. So start video, if I click, it will tell me my video's on. It will process the settings I've made for the hardware, and I'm good to go. after those settings have all been done, you determine how you want to enter the meeting. You simply hit Start Meeting. Now, this may change depending on if you're joining or starting. So it will either say Start if you are the host, which in this case I am, or it'll say Join if you're a participant and not a host. Regardless, press the big green button. Once you're in, you may see your picture flicker back and forth, and you may hear your audio beep. There will be a slight delay while it processes you into the meeting and configures your setting for the meeting participants that have already joined or the host. And it will take your big, beautiful picture and move it down to the self-view panel in the bottom right. Once you're in the meeting, those are the audio and video settings that are most important beforehand. Now, if you need to change them or wish to adjust them while in the meeting, you can easily do so, and they've kept everything the same in terms of appearance. So in the bottom left, we see our floating bar. This does appear and disappear depending on how much we move the mouse. So if I don't move it for a period of seconds, it will go away. Just moving the mouse brings it back. But you can see there's our buttons. So how do I unmute myself? In this case, I'm already unmuted, but let's say I was. Someone called upon me, or I had something to say, and I can't figure out how to unmute myself so the meeting participants can hear me. When this bar goes away and I'm muted, a ghost mute icon will remain to tell me that I'm muted. So there we can see there is a mute icon. It's in red. That's telling me, hey, you're muted. So if I move my mouse, the panel comes back. Yes, indeed, it is red, so I am muted. If I wish to speak, I simply click it. And now the meeting can hear me. If they say, hey, we can't see you, you will have to move your mouse if these buttons aren't visible. And you'll notice that the video feed is red, saying there is no video. The participants definitely cannot see you. Simply click the button. It will re-enable and bring up the last used device and process your video feed. Again, you will see that in the bottom right. One last quick note with audio and video. If any of these settings are not working out for you, you wish to change them, or you simply selected the wrong ones and you're already in the meeting, no need to panic. Simply, we move our mouse to bring back this button. At the bottom right will be the More Options button. 3 dots symbolizes that button, so we'll simply click on that. And there it'll bring up our speaker, microphone, and camera. That is where we can select the actual hardware peripherals for the meeting. So our speaker, microphone, and camera, those are good to go. I can just close out of that. And if our audio is not good, we chose the wrong one. Maybe there's some static, or a cell reception we chose to call on is not great. Audio connection, I can change it to call me. I can call in, and I can use the computer audio. One quick note while we're here, however, is if you're in a meeting on your laptop, you're using the laptop for the meeting, a bunch of coworkers says, hey, join us in the conference room. We're having the meeting in there. At this point, you could disconnect your audio and the video will remain in effect. So you can just walk into the room with the other coworkers and participants and it won't disturb a thing. In terms of Webex, that is the quick version of the audio and video settings. That is how you mute and unmute yourself and how you toggle your video feed on or off. That does it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, if it was helpful, please give a thumbs up. If you enjoyed that type of content and you want to learn more about different types of video conferencing, Webex, and just general technology, please consider subscribing. And don't forget to click the bell so you'll be notified the next time we launch a video. We will see you in the next one.